So I saw beds with children about the practice of the matters of sex. And these children were crying and crying, and God was showing me that they were in great distress. Children do not understand sex, but the wiring that God has given the human being grows according to how we are. The wiring of a human being grows and matures by age and by experience. And so children don't need to know what sex is, but children know instinctively that sex is not a part of their paradigm. It's not a part of Peppa Pig. It is not a part of the Muppets. It's not a part of the things that children take delight in and want to partake in. And therefore, when it comes near them, they become frozen, they become weird, they become gravely uncomfortable. And because children do not possess, many of them, they do not possess the ability to express themselves as adults do. And so they express the desecration that they feel, the pain and the horror of it with tears and tears and tears. And some of them express it through simply becoming like a stone. They don't have any emotion. Important things in their psyche are just cut to pieces, and they cannot compute properly anymore. And so I saw many children in these beds crying and crying. Some of them were not touched sexually, but they were terrorized by adults, and the adults were showing their private areas to these children and making the children touch them. These children who were not being touched but were only being shown adults' private parts, they cried even more than the children who were touched, because they were being tormented in their minds and they did not understand what was going on or what it had to do with them or why they had to be there. Some of these children were in their own bedrooms and their room doors would open, and then the Lord showed me that the child would turn himself into a cartoon. So the children began to play games in their mind where they turned themselves into their favorite characters, or they turned themselves into movie characters as a form of escapism for what was about to happen to them. And so sometimes the bedroom door would open, I saw in the vision, and then I would see the big bad wolf standing there, and actually it's a man. And then the child turned herself into Little Red Riding Hood. Or in one case, I saw that the evil queen from Rapunzel or Snow White opened the door, and then the child turned himself into the handsome prince, and he was pretending to be the handsome prince in his mind, while the hands of this grown woman were roving all over his body. And the Lord made me to understand that children experience mental illness, they experience split personalities, they experience mental breakdown, and they experience many different forms of internal breakdown and instability because of sexual trauma that they go through early in life. Please bear in mind that this is not only happening in the halls of the great and famous, it is happening in homes all over the United States, unreported, uninvestigated, unknown, until these children are sometimes grown adults and begin acting out in terrible ways in their own relationships, all because they had trauma that nobody knew about. Some of these children were being touched and they did not cry. The Lord showed me that they were lying in bed like rocks. Like I said, their emotional centers became snipped, became just destroyed, and that was because adult men and women were sleeping with them multiple times. The Lord showed me this. I saw a girl as big as 18 years old. So this abuse goes on well into the upper teen years. And I saw a girl who was 18 years old. She had tattoos all over her body. It's as if she would go and get a tattoo every time just to hurt herself, to cause herself to feel pain or to feel something. And her father was sleeping with her. And I saw standing by the bed as this man was raping his daughter, something that he had been doing since her early childhood. I saw the spirit of death in the shape of the Grim Reaper standing right by the bed, and I could see that the girl was going to kill herself soon, simply because she could not continue on with the cycle of abuse anymore. And the Lord made me know that some children become aggressive and they act out and they're distanced and emotionless and they seem cut off. So a lot of the children that you see walking around now with the goth hair, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are cut off and unable to bond with their peers or bond with society because of early childhood sexual trauma. And they also have much suicidal spirit in them because of sexual abuse.